too. Knows about the grind, the bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. Hey, welcome to EST Afternoons here on Edmonton Sports Talk. We're coming to you live from Boston Pizza in Devon. It's 5 days of pizza for Ben from November 18th to November 22nd. Every pizza you buy helps us give back, as a portion of all pizza sales will support the Ben Stelter Foundation. Always happy to come out and support such a great cause for our good buddy, little Ben Gager. How you doing? Good to have you back. I know it wasn't a true day off for you.
I worked harder yesterday than I have in months.
But we missed you yesterday on the show.
Did?
Oh, man. People were like, well, get rid of this Hernan guy. Where's Gager?
I heard the opposite. Thank God.
People are asking about your impromptu visit to Trev's house.
Yeah.
Something like that. What happened there?
No, well, I had, like I said, I had a meeting in the morning with a group, and then I had a meeting with one of my clients, a little bit older.
Okay.
Not as skilled on the computer as
most. Yeah.
So I go over and help her with things. But as I was on my way over there, and I'm like, I think Trev must live around here somewhere. So I gave him a shout, and turns out we had a little comfortable afternoon.
Nice.
Trev and I.
Surprised he answered.
I was too. Well, he didn't want me to go into his house, because it was an absolute
disaster.
Oh my God!
Oh boy,
there was crap everywhere.
Really,
like the counters, just all the dirty dishes. I go, like, when did you go out? Saturday. I'm like, geez, I mean, would you sleep for 24 hours? Like, I mean, on the floor there, it was a typical bachelor pad, right? But saying that, you can see it's a nice place, like really nice. There's the high ceilings. The kitchen is huge. Kind of weird that he doesn't have a kitchen table, though. I know, like, a lot of times we eat in front of the TV or whatever, but he's kind of got it's like a U-shaped, and he's got to go around a wall with his plate to sit on his. It's basically a chair, his love seat. Like, and that was my biggest concern going there is, are we both going to sit on this thing together? Because we would have been closer than you and I right now.
So what you're saying, he's a messy boy.
He's a little messy right now.
That's not good.
I'm sure
he was raised better than that.
Well, he said he was going to clean because he thought people were coming over this weekend, but then there wasn't, and then I guess he really got into it over the weekend there, and kind of put everything off too. I'm almost sure he's probably cleaning right now as we speak, showing me on the TV that I can't hear. I'm cleaning, Gager.
Yeah.
Cleaning. So, but it was fun. We had a good afternoon.
Hey, hit us up, River Korean Box, 780-218-9999. Nasty chat, like always. You better slam that thumbs up. I know there's a slam, the thumbs up fatigue going on right now, but please, let's try to get close to 100. Nasty chat, of course. Joaquin, before we get to another embarrassing performance by the Edmonton Oilers last night, you weren't here yesterday. I got to get your thoughts. First of all, Machine Gun Kelly, were you a fan?
Oddly, yes.
Yes, me too. Yeah.
What was the first? Like, he did a couple covers, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, can this guy actually sing? And I was more interested because it sounded good. I go, is this guy lip syncing? I think he was singing over some of his own tracks, whatever. But he didn't sound that bad, and I thought it was good. It was a really good halftime show. Like, it had that feel of like an intimate feel, seeing in a bar or something, like old Reds. Remember going to see concerts?
Oh yeah,
that's how it felt to me, and it was really, really good.
You know what, Gager? I said the same thing. I was surprised how good he sounded live.
I can't believe how good he sounded. I didn't know any of his songs, but I was like, this guy actually has some talent. All I knew was he had that beef with Eminem, right? And he was kind of a rapper, but he kind of has that. If you didn't listen to it or hear it, he's kind of gone that Post Malone kind of way, where it's kind of country, it's kind of rap, kind of poppy. Yeah. So it hits all genres. And he's playing the guitar, which is really cool. He's talented, man.
Yeah, you really don't know what genre he is, but that's good because he hits them all, man.
Mm-hmm.
He hits them all. Overall thoughts of the game: Saskatchewan Roughriders, our buddy Lieutenant Eric, still riding high with the win of his team.
Yep.
What did you make of the game? And are you happy the Riders won?
So when it started, and that I think the first half that it was the Rough Riders that dominated kind of the first half, and I was a little bit upset because I found myself cheering for Alexander a little bit and wanting him to kind of keep that streak going and stuff. And I mean, it came down to the end, which is great. Like it was important football till the end. But the Riders they were the more dominant team. I didn't feel at any point after, I would say, the first quarter that Montreal didn't give me any reason to think that they could come back. And I know the CFL is famous for it, and it could have happened. It almost happened at the end, which kept my interest, which was great. I hate to see blowouts, especially in championship games. But just watching how the Riders were able to move the ball, how efficient Trevor Harris was, you just felt like they're just on the field too much. They're dominating ball possession time, and I don't know. Do you think that the hamstring actually hampered? I
think a bit, not as much. I know people, like a lot of media on X were saying put MBT in. I'm like, you're not putting MBT in. Come on.
No. Come not on. Not with the star power that Alexander has. And that's another thing that piqued my interest. Is he going to be able to pull them out of this? Like, that would be unbelievable if he could have somehow pulled the Alouettes out of it and got them to the and got a win. Yeah,
it came down to the last play, which is awesome.
It did, yeah.
And I still feel crushed for Shea Patterson, like to fumble as a third stringer.
I know.
Oh man, that's crushing.
Yeah.
This one says Tommy hated MGK.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Why?
I don't know. Tom's musical tastes are a little out there too.
Well,
right?
He's got two, like, let's talk about people's places. Tommy's got a picture when you walk in of Ghostbusters. Like, I was like, how much you like Ghostbusters and the Killers, right there. So take Tommy's like music choices with a grain of salt.
With a grain of salt. People are calling Trev's place now the Pig Pen.
Oh, I wouldn't say pig pen. But it's like organized chaos.
Okay.
Yeah, like you go into the kitchen and there's this big pot, like there's pizza boxes and 6-pack cardboard. Like it's a big, huge pile of crap in his kitchen. But his kitchen's big, so you don't notice it too much. Like that's where I would put a small little table, or maybe even a high table, right?
Yeah.
Like so you can just at least sit there and maybe have something to eat. But I mean, it was nice because I didn't know where to sit, and I was sitting on the footstool for a bit because it would have just been way too creepy if we were on that love seat together. But Trevor went and got me his gamer chair that he does the Above Average show. So next time if you're watching his show, tell him to turn the camera around because a lot of people will be interested in that. See if he's cleaned up that place.
All right, Gager, we've delayed it long enough. The Oilers. Oh, man, this team, I just can't figure them out. I mean, they go into Carolina, they play okay, they pull out the win, they come in, they feel all fat and sassy in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. I almost guaranteed the damn win yesterday. I didn't.
Yeah.
But I said they should win this game. This game should not be close. This game is a must for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
Look at all the injuries Buffalo had. They had a guy playing his fourth game in net blocking. And I'll say this, good on the kid, but didn't you notice a lot of rebounds?
Oh, yeah.
He didn't know where the puck was like 5 times and nothing. No one goes to the net. No one does anything on this team. I love Rob
Hyman
Ray.
was there.
Hyman. Oh, yeah, Hyman gets a pass. So does Roslovic.
Yeah.
That's probably about it. Hell, I might even put Bouchard in there for the first time this season. Rob Ray with a classic line when the net is empty broke the internet and said, well, the net's been empty the whole game. What's the difference? Taking a shot at the Oilers goaltending. But Joaquin, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, we're gonna get to highlights, lowlights. I have a wicked question. Well, I think it's wicked. It's probably not good. We're probably gonna get no one respond to it. But I'm gonna wait on that. Okay. Here, high danger chances. Let's start there. 16-6 on evens. The Oilers had 6 high danger chances, Joaquin. 6. Halfway through the first period, the Oilers are not playing bad at that point. Okay? He goes to the nuclear option. That, to me, is the biggest crutch. And we all know why he does it, because they're brilliant together. But Joaquin, it almost like he lets the whole team off the hook and says, you know what Oilers hockey is? Play those two guys the whole game and hope they can pull it out. That's Oilers hockey right now.
You know what? How easy that makes other teams, especially good teams, that they just have to focus on. But I mean, I've found over these last few games, like their teams are feasting on the Oppenheimer option these days.
Yeah,
because now they can get those favorable matchups. We've seen players that aren't counted on to score, that are just in a defensive role, I have success against that line. Like Dusty brought out the goal differential. It can't happen. It absolutely cannot happen. Do you think that the focus, like I've said this for a while, like I kind of jokingly say, yeah, Connor McDavid is one of the greatest offensive players of all time. But until there's that subtle shift in thinking and the realization that you can't outscore your problems, that you're going to have to be responsible defensively, this team is not going to get over that final hump. And I said it on two guys. The Oilers have now made available the blueprint on how to beat them.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can outwork them. You get in the corners and out-battle them, and they cheat onto the offensive side of the puck. So you know if you can play a rugged, and you don't have to worry about the front of your own net.
No, God, no.
You know what? How many times you see Buffalo just come back with 5 guys and sit in the box and let the Oilers just do their thing around, because no one's in front. The only guy that goes in front is Hyman. And even when the puck does sometimes eventually get to them, he's covered by 3 guys. No one else is going out trying to help or go for rebounds. Like there was, I think it was the game prior when Louis said, what's like a pass off the pillows? And I forget the play that it was. And I went nuts again, because I think the Carolina Hurricanes were implementing that, like shooting it, going to shooting it in the feet, trying to go to it. Oh, it did happen last night. And actually Louis, I think, made light of it. But there's none of that greasy, grindy, and it's not even greasy and grindy. I'm tired of that saying too. It's just goals at this point. Go to the net to score goals.
It's simple hockey. You brought up other teams figuring out the Oilers. You know what it is, Gager? It's get the first goal on them. Kris Knoblauch will go to the Oppenheimer option, and then all we got to worry about is them. If they score 2 goals on us, good. We'll still outscore them. Yeah, because no one else is going to score. And the craziest thing, Joaquin, Rozovic scored yesterday, playing with Podkolzin and Draisaitl on a beautiful goal.
Yeah, they had some jump, man. They looked good. McDavid didn't have anything, and then he gets back with Leon and gets all of a sudden, I can play with my buddy again.
You know how many shots they combined for? 3.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, because they don't shoot the puck.
Nurse and Bouchard combined for 11. How is this happening? And listen, Joaquin, the Wallman Nurse pair, I'm starting to think Nurse is a problem. Because we blame Nurse when he played with Bouchard, saying, someone's got it's all Bouchard. Yeah. I don't know anymore, man, because it seems every guy that goes with Nurse, it's just struggles nonstop. That pairing was awful.
The hockey processors are really low. They're not. It's floppy disks and Commodore 64s right now. They got to start not only competing harder, but computing the game at a higher level on the defensive side. Like it at times with the Wallman and Nurse pair yesterday, it looked like they just couldn't. The game was moving too fast for them, and you can't have that with your 3 and 4 defensemen. It should be automatic anytime. Like they're big, they're strong, and it's not like the Buffalo Sabres have any, big, huge power forwards on there. And the amount of times that they lost wall battles is just, it shouldn't be called wallman. It's just been man, because he's not good on the wall.
Listen, we're big fans of King Kulak.
Yeah, he struggled. I hate to say it.
In the
He's my
third
favorite.
period, his first shift, he gave up 2 breakaways. Well, they're like half breakaways, but just, when Kulak's going bad, that this team's not feeling it. And again, I think a missed opportunity. Yes, the media asked for the players after the game, but I think a missed opportunity by the leadership group last night saying, hey, I'll speak if you want me to, because it's getting ridiculous. And show McDavid all you want in the final 2 minutes, shaking his head. He's one of the biggest parts of the problem. Until the big boys on this team want to play defense or learn how to play defense, nothing will change. Okay? It starts with those guys. I know we're hard on Frederick and we're hard on Janmark and we're hard on this guy, but come on, guys.
You're not going to win. I don't care. You can have any goalie you want. If you're allowing 16, what was it? No, it was like 20. How was the high danger scoring chances for Buffalo?
16-6.
16. Like, if you're not going to win many, like you're playing the Buffalo Sabres, they put 4 on you.
Yeah.
Like, what happens when you play the Vegases, the Kings? They're going to fill the net if you allow 16 high. It doesn't matter what goalie you have in net.
And it's because you did the pre and post. Great job, by the way, on Saturday. You look sharp with the leather jacket, showing a little chest.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
you brought the good luck to the. But the Oilers
mascara my chest here. It's white. You can't notice. It's a big patch.
The Oilers in the third period played well.
Yeah,
we know they can. But Joaquin, it's been 8 periods of good hockey for this team.
If that.
Yeah. We're being very generous with 8 periods. And listen, I'm. The coaching is coming into every coach has gone nuclear. This guy does it more than the previous one.
Yeah, now he does.
Yeah.
He didn't before, though. He came in, I think every coach that, what happens is, and I remember Woodcroft talking, he watches tons of hockey when he didn't have a job, right? Because he never knows if he's going to get the call or not. So he's watching multiple teams. He said he didn't watch the Oilers, but probably a good chance he's not going to get rehired. So I kind of get it that way. Everyone, I guarantee you, if you're, I probably shouldn't say this, but let's say you're Pete DeBoer, right? Who's the teams you think he's watching most, right? The teams that are struggling.
Yeah.
So when he looks at the Edmonton Oilers, he's probably saying, well, he's playing these guys too much together.
Yeah.
If I was, how would I do it? How they're thinking. It would be great to get DeBoer on. We should give him a call. And,
he doesn't
see what he says. Yeah. How would you do things differently? Or would you do things differently in this case? Or how do you manage having something that's had so much success in the past, but you got to find something with the other 3 lines? And again, why doesn't he do something last night down 5-1? He's still putting those guys out there.
And Dusty made a good point. If they get one, he's probably playing them the whole 4 minutes.
Oh yeah, they're out there the rest of the game.
But that's the thing. You're not letting anyone else contribute or even try to give you something. It's all Connor and Leon nonstop, and we understand why they're great offensive players. They are. Okay? They can turn a game around like that. But when you're doing it every game and doing it 5-10 minutes into a game, you have a second line.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Stick with it. You got Hyman back with McDavid. Enough is enough, Knoblauch. Listen, I think what did Tom say yesterday on the post-game show about the coaching? He said, I'm not, listen, he was taking all the questions, but he said, I'm just being logical. They're not firing the coach.
I don't know, man.
You don't know, eh?
You got a guy down in Palm Desert right now probably pulling his hair out and going, I just gave this guy a 3-year deal. And
that's it, right?
Looks, when it gets to this point, the coaching does come into the discussion, right? Why, especially the way the Oilers are, if it looked like any semblance of them emptying the tanks every game, but still losing, that would be
different.
That's not a coaching thing. That's a personnel thing.
Yeah.
But now what's he doing with all this stuff? Why the coach's job is to find other combinations of players that work on a consistent basis, right? And
it's not working going nuclear. So stop doing it. Do it like you did when you first got here. You do it in the third if you're down.
He's going to do it anyway, man.
Yeah.
But fine, go nuclear, right? But then find out what else you have.
Yeah.
Don't just go, okay, guys, go do it for me here.
Like Oppenheimer here, he has the one move.
Yeah.
Seriously, that's all it is. That's all. Oh, we're down.
No, we're down.
Oh, hold on. Am I echoing? Yeah, I am. I don't know why I'm echoing. But anyways, he's got to switch that. He's got to give other guys opportunities to to figure it out, to produce. Sorry. And just go from there, Joaquin. And Knoblauch, the criticism is fair.
Yeah.
I have no issues with it.
Yeah.
I think it's completely fair. I just don't think there's that coming, at least right now. But we'll see what happens. Okay, on the other side of the break, we are going to get to highlights, lowlights. It's not going to be pretty, Joaquin.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about one player specifically, and then we're going to be joined by Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL. We'll go around the NHL. We'll talk to him, like to get an outsider's view of the Oilers. We also have Marshall Ferguson at 2:20, but it is highlights, lowlights coming up next. Of course, Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta, and the afternoon inbox is brought to you by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out their Tab 25 restaurant where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m. Don't go anywhere and slam that thumbs up. Highlights, lowlights on the other side of the break.
The NHL has 8 games on the schedule. The Red Wings and Kraken face off. Tampa Bay plays host to New Jersey, while St. Louis visits Toronto, having all 3 of those games start at 5 o'clock. In other news, the World Juniors are returning to Edmonton and Red Deer in 2027. Edmonton will host 17 games at Rogers Place, Red Deer with 14 at the home of the Rebels, with the 2 cities previously holding the event in 2022. WHL action, the Oil Kings hit the ice in Penticton against the Vs for 7:35 puck drop. Edmonton first in the Eastern Conference, while Penticton is 4th in the West. 3 other games on tap in the dub. Brandon takes on Moose Jaw, while the Royals challenge the Hurricanes to the Association. Utah visits LA to play the Lakers. Golden State takes on Orlando, while Portland welcomes in Phoenix, having 6 games on tap. This sports update is brought to you by the Capital Care Foundation. Financial support deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. Highlights, lowlights from last night's game up next. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Luke Gazdic.
After about 8 minutes into the second period, Rick Tocchet threw his 4th line out there. They were running around like crazy. Then Sealer hits McDavid. The whole tone of the game changed after that. The Oil had no pushback for them. And this is the Philadelphia Flyers. This isn't the Florida Panthers, right? I thought Philly took over the game. And from then on in, it was just about surviving for the Oil.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com.
Summer was packed with memories.
Let me get a picture.
Your garage doesn't have to be.
Wow, look at all this space.
Store your gear with Sentinel Storage and enjoy extra space all year. Try 4 weeks free. Visit sentinelstorage.ca.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation with options for every style and budget. Open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including international U2 tribute band, Desire, November 14th. Performing decades of U2's greatest hits, it's Desire, November 14th at the River Cree. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Get ready for a feast like no other. 40-ounce steak night is back this November at the Canadian Brewhouse. Sink your teeth into a hand-cut 40-ounce ribeye with all the fixins for just $49.99. Tickets available now in-store or at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
We're back here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, of course, presented by Play Alberta. We're coming to you live from Boston Pizza in Devon. It's 5 days of pizza for Ben, and courtesy of the Ben Stelter Foundation. All you have to do is come from November 18th to the 22nd, and every pizza you buy helps us give back a portion of all pizza sales as they will support the Ben Stelter Foundation. Joaquin, how was your drive in?
It's funny because it was kind of nostalgic, to tell you the truth.
Oh, really?
Because from my neck of the woods, I drive like I'm going out to Rabbit Hill.
Okay.
And so I remember my son, when he was 14, I think he got a job there as a snowboard instructor. And so I would have to obviously drive. He drove because he had his learners, but I was with him, and I would take him and drop him off there. So I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But then I was in the back roads. I'm like, where am I going? So you gave me the address. I'm thinking, oh, did Nanso mess with me here? I don't know. Yeah, no, I
haven't been out here since my 20s when I used to deliver.
Here for something else. Like it was some sort of I think it was an Oilers alumni event or something. I can't remember.
Crazy. Yeah, I do smooth drive though. I come from downtown, so.
You were on the big. I was all back roads, so
straight, turn right, and I'm here.
What's it? What's the highway? Highway
2. Oh, to turn here, 19.
19. Yeah. So yeah, I kind of meandered to 19, and then I was right here.
All right. Hey, let's get to highlights, lowlights. Okay, we're going to break down 3 goals against here, and it's troubling, Joaquin. That's all I'll say. They're very, very troubling. If Coop can switch us over right now, we'll do our best to hit it up, the best way we can to the audio audience here as well. And I'm just waiting to see if it flips over before we go because we're a little delayed on our end.
I think
here.
It is.
Coop, Coop, are you there?
Yes, it is up.
Okay.
What's up?
Thank you, brother. Okay. So I want to focus on this gentleman right here. I won't say his name right now, but this is on the PK.
Okay.
I want you, Gager, to tell me what he does wrong on this play because I want to see if I'm right.
Oh, I don't know.
Here
I'm
we go.
right. Jeez.
So 63 circling around, finds Osterland down low. So we'll start again on the half wall. Darling to number 63. Does a quick circle just outside the circles there. Finds Osterland down by the net. He's all alone. The question I'm asking is Darnell Nurse just too high? I'm going to stop it right here.
There's no recognition of maybe he took an extra step that he probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And I don't mind his stick position, right? But there was no shoulder check to see where that low guy was.
Yeah.
Tell you the truth, I'm okay with Darnell Nurse doing this. I find that this is all on Stuart Skinner.
Okay.
This when you watch the move, if you go ahead and play it here,
roll it.
Yeah. So the pass goes from the half wall down to a guy right beside the puck, but he brings the puck right in front of Stuart Skinner.
Yeah.
Right. Like it is like what, maybe 12 inches in front of him. And Stu is just kind of, he doesn't have full control. I just think that there has to be some sort of poke check or something.
Active stick.
Yeah, there has to be something. And I mean, look where the puck is, and look where the stick is. Right then, you activate your stick to grab it or something.
Even if you go lay it kind of in front of you, you're breaking it up.
He can't, like if he brought it the other way, yeah, but he put the puck in a dangerous position and not with a ton of, it's a great play. I understand it, but usually this play happens a little bit further out and doesn't give you the opportunity to do that. But it should be a snake's tongue right there.
Okay, so you're saying Skinner number 1, Nurse 2.
Yeah, I mean, but I would put 95% of this is a stoppable puck, right? This is where, the old adage, your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer. This is Stuart Skinner has to be way better in that situation. That is, he should be ending this. He should be ending this play right there as soon as his stick leaves, because he's just passing it through. And it's a good play. I get it, but it's a very. If he's a little bit more proactive, with his stick, he stops that thing.
Okay, this is the 2-1 goal. Your boy, Bowen Byram.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let's just run it through here. I'll start it over. So once again, point to point there. Sorry, that goes back. A good shot there. Sorry, I started a little wacky. So the puck's at the point, goes into the slot. A turnaround shot there by the Buffalo Sabres player. Darnell Nurse throws it right into the middle, right onto, I think that's Bryson, who finds Bowen backdoor. And again, just sloppy, Joaquin. Not much to break down, but sloppiness. Like, look.
But you know why it's sloppy, buddy?
Why?
You know, this is what I've been preaching and hoping that the Edmonton Oilers figure out, is what this whole thing starts with organized chaos. And what I mean by that, the puck goes from the half wall on the right-hand side up to the point with a shot.
Yeah.
It gets blocked. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone starts scrambling. That's the chaos that ensues. The puck retrieval from the Buffalo Sabres is at there's a much higher desire and a lot more focus to find this puck. They get another shot. It gets blocked.
And then Nurse just throws it.
And then Nurse gets in a chance. What does he do? He gives the puck right back to them. Skinner, he's already had 2 shot attempts against him. Yeah. Right. So he's almost you're feeling like you're in a shooting gallery there. And he is right here overcommitted to the shot. But this is a good place for a guy to shoot the puck.
Yeah.
I completely understand it. And great feed across. Byram doesn't waste much time and rips it. Skinner almost was there in time, but this is just poor play after the shot is taken and you had full control of the puck. This shouldn't have got to this.
You want this guy closer here, this guy up here, right? Like, it's that simple.
Well,
but it's chaos.
It's chaos now. So everyone's trying. Where's my guy? Then this is what the Oilers have been so good at in years past, is creating this chaos. So yeah, you have 3 guys covering 2.
Yeah,
which is unnecessary. Byram's a defenseman, so it's a little bit different, right? But again, this is just a good play. I give more credit actually to the Buffalo Sabres by trying to get pucks to the net, puck retrieval, and everything opens up. This is the exact type of plays when Connor would eventually find Leon over to the side. It's because everyone's running around and it opens things. Like, look where all the Edmonton Oilers are at the end of that play. This is just it's Edmonton Oilers 2 years ago.
It's Edmonton Oilers hockey, baby. Edmonton Oilers hockey. This is the 4th goal. Oslin, again, the good young player. I think he was their draft pick. He scored the first goal. He scores this one. Joaquin, like, this one is the goal that just kind of puts everything into perspective when it comes to the Oilers defense. They have no clue. Let's just roll it. He's behind. He's about to go behind the net with an Oiler chasing him.
Roll right before that. Wallman kind of loses the battle with him. Right. So right there, you got to like the guy's
like, look.
But the battle behind the net started it. Wallman's got to win that battle, first of all, right? You can't – that's where it starts, okay? And you lose battles. I get it. So what happens next? Wallman's got to be talking with – like, Nurse sees a guy – I don't know where Nurse is looking at the beginning. If we rewind it a little bit, like, I just want to see where – because to me it was like, this is where the hockey IQ – like right there, you see – you've recognized the play. Your partner has lost the battle, but he's coming back to the net. Wallman's got to be saying, go, go, go. Yeah. Or Nurse has got to jump at that point and not allow this guy to – and he just – this is what I mean. Just enough. Just enough type of effort here. Yeah. Nurse just, I got my guy. I'm good. Yeah. But what happens? He's lost position. He's screening his own goaltender. He's doing nothing here. And to allow a guy to come out into the front and just, he couldn't believe he was all alone.
He couldn't believe it. I just want to run it back. So Nurse takes his man. Okay, then Wallman's free, but Wallman's probably got his eye right here, right?
Well, Wallman's in no man's land. Yeah. He doesn't know, like, his guy is gone. So he has no guy, right? Like, there should have been a switch with Nurse. As soon as they saw him going behind the net, Nurse should have gone.
Yeah.
And Wallman should have recovered quickly to take the guy in front.
Yeah.
And I actually talked to a defensive aficionado. His initials are JS on this exact play, and he agreed with me.
Yeah, so what you're saying is better communication by these two. Nurse goes here. Wallman takes his guy. Now, this guy, he could also shoulder check.
Yeah, but he's in good position. Yeah. This should have ended. He shouldn't have been able to walk out unmolested like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just crazy.
Like, once again, just lack of communication. But, like, I even think Oslin was shocked.
Oh, yeah.
How wide open he was.
Oh, my gosh, I can shoot this. And I'll have to put a little bit on Skinner here. Like, okay, this guy's coming out. He's going to shoot the puck. Like, I got to get in a position, and I'm screened.
Yeah.
I got to do it. If I can't find it, I got to put my body in a position where hopefully it hits me. And he's just stuck on the post and doesn't make a good enough, that intentionality of getting to the top of the crease, making himself big if this shot comes, and hopefully it just hits me.
Yeah. Koob, that's good. You can send it back to Joaquin and myself right now. But do you know what's troubling, Joaquin, when we show those goals? It's Darnell Nurse. It's Jake Wallman.
Yeah.
It's veteran guys, man.
Yeah.
Like, that defense is awful. There's no communication. You said, as soon as something deflects or hits off a player in front or there's a rebound, it's chaos. They have no idea where to go.
That's communication.
Yeah.
That's where you really need to zero in on things, right? Then there's a little bit of patience involved.
Yeah.
But things are going bad defensively for the Edmonton Oilers right now, right? So obviously you're going to get a level of panic that sets in, and they start scrambling. And what happens? Good players find that quiet ice. Bowen Byram, that sucked all the talent out of me, rips one home.
Yeah, and Wallman's really fallen off a cliff here. I'm sorry, he has. Max Pazuzu says, Gager, on the goal we showed on the power play one when he cuts just in front of the net, he says, what's the reason why he wouldn't go for a poke check? Is it he's scared to open up the 5-hole?
I get, but I guess. But I mean, they had a great view of that during the game, and it seemed like a no-brainer to me. Like, I think he was shocked that this guy could actually do that move. He caught him off guard a little bit, that he just put it in front of him. But still, you can't allow that guy just to push it over to the side and shoot it in. There was no movement from Skinner either. I think I didn't like it on his part. That's a save he has to make. Yeah. You know how we all say Skinner has to make the save at the right time? That was the save that he needed to make.
So on the fourth goal, you and JS agreed that that's on Nurse and Wallman.
Yeah.
Because you like where the forward is.
Completely lack of communication. Like, you can't lose the battle, first of all, right? You can't lose that battle. And then it's got to be communication. Nurse has got to identify a little bit more. You know, you get your stick in the way, so he can't make that pass.
Yeah.
Jump. Anticipation. Read the play. These guys, their hockey minds are shot right now.
Yeah. They're not thinking.
They're not reading the play. They're not anticipating. Yeah. When you see teams, like we talk about Hyman. Were we talking about Hyman?
Yeah.
Last week or after his game? When was I? Whatever. I don't think we were talking. Okay.
Yeah.
Like everyone says, everyone can hit, but there's you know what Zach Hyman would have been good, like the other sport that he would have been really successful at as a linebacker. Because he reads the play and he sees where the puck's going. Oh, it's going to be the puck's here. That guy's open. He anticipates and goes and gets the hit. He's playing ahead of where the play is going defensively. That's what he does. Like his hockey mind is so advanced.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to get 11 hits in a game.
Yeah.
Like you can run around all you want. You're not going to get 11 hits unless you can read the play prop. And the fact that he pops guys with it is another level, right? So I think Hyman should just play for the Elks.
There's a big difference because some games Fredericks had 7-8 hits, but we don't notice.
No.
I'm like, really? He had 8 hits?
But he's not reading the play. He's not going, okay, the puck, he's hitting the guy when the puck's already gone.
Yeah.
Hyman's hitting the guy when he gets the puck.
Hyman's awesome.
Yeah.
We're big fans of Zach Hyman on EST afternoons here. Hey, so that was highlights, lowlights. Great breakdown, though. I'm glad you pointed out the two defensemen because I was kind of going where the forward was, but no, that was good. But it has to be communication. The first goal on Stuart Skinner, and the third one's just chaos, and the Oilers don't know where they're standing. They don't. It's like little kids hockey, and they go everywhere. They just start following the puck. Well, in this case, they didn't because
that's when they start getting puck focused, right? And they just,
it's just terrible. All right, coming up next, we'll get to Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL. We'll go around the NHL. Brad Treliving.
cheerleading.
Yeah, he met with the media today because
I didn't hear that.
And he gave the kiss of death to he said, my coach is good. He's safe.
Oh.
And you know when GMs say that, it usually takes about 2 weeks and then they're out the door.
No GM ever said that to me.
So we'll talk. We'll go around the NHL. We'll get his thoughts on the Edmonton Oilers. A lot of good teams struggling. Tampa Bay, Florida picked up an 8-5 win yesterday, which is crazy against Vancouver Canucks. Of course, we're live here from Boston Pizza, Devon, for 5 days of pizza for Ben in honor of the Ben Stelter Foundation. On the other side of the break, more hockey talk. Hit that thumbs up. I know there's fatigue, but please do so. Hit us up on the Nasty Chat. River Korean Box 780-218-9999. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas live from Boston Pizza and Devon. Here's Coob with your sports update. We're back after the break.
The NHL has 8 games on tap. The Red Wings and Kraken face off. Tampa Bay plays host to New Jersey, while St. Louis visits Toronto, having all 3 of those games start at 5 o'clock. And from Calgary, the Flames have cleaned Johnny Beecher off waivers from the Bruins. The 24-year-old has 1 goal in 6 games this season. In other news, the World Juniors are returning to Edmonton and Red Deer in 2027. Edmonton will host 17 games at Rogers Place. Red Deer with 14. The 2 cities last hosted the event in 2022. WHL action, the Oil Kings hit the ice in Penticton against the V's. 7:35 puck drop. Edmonton first in the Eastern Conference, Penticton 4th in the West. 3 other games in the dub. Brandon takes on Moose Jaw, while the Royals challenge the Hurricanes. To the association, there's 6 games on the schedule. Utah visits LA to play the Lakers. Golden State takes on Orlando, while Portland welcomes in Phoenix. Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL Network Radio checks in next. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
The EST Hangout.
And then he came over to your home and you were very excited about this?
Oh, man. Isn't that not the coolest thing ever?
Go on.
Could you imagine Gage just showing up at your place?
He does it all the time.
And are you not like, what the heck?
Kind of.
My place was just a mess, and he's just every room. Oh, God. Just what the heck is here? Oh, what is that?
He does that.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Hockey is heating up, and so is the excitement on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code EST50. That's code EST50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc, we're the experts you need to know.
We're back here on EST Afternoons. Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas coming to you live from the Boston Pizza in Devon. 5 days of pizza before Ben for the Ben Stelter Foundation. From November 18th to November 22nd, every pizza you buy helps us give back, as a portion of all pizza sales will support the Ben Stelter Foundation. 44 thumbs up. That's pretty good pace.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Don't
I guess
stop
people
now.
like us better in Boston Pizza.
Do we look better? Is it the lighting?
It's the lighting, yeah.
It's the lighting for sure. Nephew and niece stopped by. They're having a Caesar on a nice
We
Tuesday
look good
afternoon.
in this light, buddy, but we can't always count on this light.
No, we cannot. We cannot. We're just waiting on our guest, Scott Laughlin, here from SiriusXM. We'll wait for Coop to give us the go-ahead if he's ready to go here. So we're going to go around the NHL. Lots of storylines, lots of teams struggling, a lot of surprise teams in the NHL, some impressive rookies. If Coop's listening, he can just put it in the chat there on the Wirecast if Scott's good to go. In the meantime, we'll keep rattling off some of your messages. A lot of people not happy with Darnell Nurse. Just wait till my question at 2 o'clock.
Yikes.
It's going to blow your head off. If you look closely, Thelma and Louise's license plate has Oilers on it. Oh, I think Gager experienced more high danger chances going to Trev's place.
It was close.
Oh,
it was
man,
close.
that's good. That is really good.
Let's just say I kept my shoes on.
These preseason games are getting out of hand. It's like the end of it's almost December. Oh man, yeah, it's not been good for the Edmonton Oilers. I don't know what it is. If it's a want, I mean, they know how to play defense, Gage. We've seen it. I just don't know anymore. Darnell Nurse not getting any better. Bouchard at least is trending a little bit better. So is Ekholm. King Kulak, well, our favorite, is struggling right now as well. So I don't know, man. I thought Regula's had a bad 2 games, Joaquin.
Yeah, it seemed like, I mean, I thought before he got injured that he was looking really good. And I haven't seen him play that way yet. So hopefully I think something's there, though, with Regula. Big body. It's I don't know, it's weird to say, but why do we have to say it's going to take time with the team? I guess if you want to be, okay, for Oilers fans, here's a silver lining for them. If there's any time in the season where you don't really want to be at your best, it's right now.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you look at the standings, like it is a stone's throw to being at the tops of the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
Right. So that's the good thing. Those are 2 really positive things you can kind of look at. Now, are there issues with this team? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The construction of this team is worrisome a little bit to me now. I don't think I would ever go full panic mode, but I would question whether this team is going to have success further down the road, because if things keep going like this and teams start progressing with the condensed schedule, Olympic break, you find yourselves in a certain part of the season where you're playing every second night and you're having to win those hockey games. And there is something to be playing playoff hockey before playoff hockey starts.
Yeah.
But I said this on 2 guys. What worries me about this team is if the fact that they might have to go on a run later on to establish playoff position, and the fact that they've played so much hockey over the past 2 seasons, I would, and going up against the LA Kings again in the first round, it would be very difficult, I think, for this team with the amount they've played to get out of that series.
Well, it's not just that. There's going to be 1 year when they're not going to be able to do it, Joaquin. And that's just it. That's the reality of it.
Yeah,
right?
it is. It is. I mean, didn't you think this was going to be a step back this year?
I did, but I didn't think it'd be this bad. Like now, they're over the fake 500. Okay,
I know. It's not. But every other team is good now. There's no, like the Pacific Division with the play of the San Jose Sharks, Anaheim Ducks, Seattle Kraken. They are. I thought Calgary would be a lot better, but the fact that those 2 teams have leapfrogged them in their progression to be, playoff contenders, it doesn't help the Edmonton Oilers at all. There's not that any game is. There hasn't been one game that has looked easy for Edmonton this year, aside from the Canucks game. But they played at such a high level. They would have. I think they might have had their way with any team at that.
Well, I think a lot of folks, I don't think you and I did, but a lot of folks overrated this team. And let's be honest, Savoy's been good, but not a lot of production. Howard's in the minors. Again, he didn't do nothing wrong, but it was just the right move to make at this time.
Yeah.
Tomaszek's out of the lineup more than he's in the lineup. Okay, Mangiapane is the team worst, minus 16. Rozovic's been a blessing. Where would they be without his goals?
Jeez.
Let's be honest here. Frederick's been an enormous disappointment. Enormous.
They might have to trade Roslovic to get some assets here.
We trade our best goal scorer right now?
Yeah, well, yeah. He's the only one that you can move and you can get something for. I would say try to get a first-round pick.
and then your defense is just atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. Sorry, I'm just texting Coop here.
Yeah, I don't. Do I think this team can turn it around? Of course.
Yeah.
But it's not just now I said this, it gets to the point where now you have to start questioning the coaching decisions a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. And everyone's under the same umbrella here, right? You're looking for something from anyone. And I find it, not that I found it hard that Paul Coffey he made a difference in a way, but I didn't think that all signs would point to that part of the Oilers coaching staff being such a cavernous hole at this point. Like they're playing like they really miss him behind the bench.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a few new coaches now. There's obviously with coaching staffs and things, there's relationship building too, right? Mm-hmm. So gaining that trust, you could say that with any kind of professional field, but now you have a guy coming to you and talking about your play, probably going over video, and there's a sense, okay, who is this guy? What is he saying the right things? Do I jive with this person? So there's a lot of new things off the ice that take time as well. And maybe all those things are pieces of the puzzle that need to start fitting in place. So it finally looks like these guys are on the same page on the ice.
Yeah, lots to fix with this team. We do have Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL. Scott, we finally got you. Sorry about the issues there. We just couldn't connect for some reason. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well, guys. Yourselves? We're
doing excellent here, just breaking down another disappointing Oilers game from last night. Before we get to some struggling teams here in Canada, Scott, 6 weeks into the NHL season, what's the biggest storyline for you, Scott?
Well, it's a good question. I think there are so many positive storylines, some disappointing storylines out there as well. I mean, I look at a team like Anaheim being what they are, doing what they're doing so far. I think that for them to sit atop the Pacific Division, that's pretty surprising. I think you look at Chicago being in a wild card spot right now. That's a pretty surprising thing for most people to look at as well, based upon how young that team, relatively speaking, still is as well. So I look at teams like that. I look at the ascension, certainly, of a team like the San Jose Sharks, who'd have thought that they would be 500 after 19 games of their season as well. So I think collectively we've seen some teams kind of arrive ahead of schedule when it comes to participation in the playoffs potentially, or at least even putting their fan bases through a much anticipated, long-awaited in some cases, playoff race.
Scott, so speaking of the Anaheims, I mean, you could say even Seattle's a little bit surprising being in that third spot in the Pacific. And just looking at this Pacific Division, do you see, I know it's early, it's 20-some games in, do you see them changing much, or do you think there's some sustainability with these teams like Anaheim and Seattle in the Pacific?
Well, I think I went into the season thinking it would still be the big three in some particular order. It would be Vegas, Edmonton, Los Angeles. It could be Los Angeles, Edmonton, Vegas. Edmonton could win the division, whatever the case may be. So I still think that that's probably going to be what it's going to be in terms of the top three finishers in the division. I picked Anaheim before the season, guys, to make the playoffs, and I'm going to stay by that. I didn't expect them to be in first place at this point after 19 games of their campaign, but I look at their roster, and I think that they've put together, Pat Verbeek has, certainly a really good mix of veteran players with some young up-and-coming players who are really starting to turn the corner. And I think when you get that mix and you've got obviously the younger guys carrying the weight, and we're talking about guys like Leo Carlson, obviously, and Mason McTavish are going to get going like everybody thinks at some point as well. Benedict Seneca has been a great find for them. Again, speaking of arriving ahead of schedule, a guy who's 19 going on 20, still doing what he's doing is pretty impressive as well. And Lucas Dostal has turned out to be a number one goaltender for them also. So I think you add that all up, and Pat Verbeek and Joel Quenneville coming in to maybe take the thing a little bit further than Greg Cronin did the past couple of years, even though he did a great job. He didn't obviously see eye to eye with some of the players, and there was a change in the offing. So I like the Ducks. I think that we're going to look at the big three being the big three, but I certainly like the Ducks to at least get a wild card in the Western Conference.
Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL Radio joining us here on EST Afternoon. Scott, let's head to some Canadian markets here. Toronto, their GM spoke today. He had some things to say. Maybe a team's a little bit too vanilla. He puts a lot of the blame on himself, says that this is not a coaching issue. Listen, I know Toronto has a lot of injuries, but what are you seeing from this team early on that they just can't seem to get out of that rut they're in?
Well, I think the biggest concern with the Leafs is just the fact that defensively they appear to be broke like they are. They are a team right now that is really without any sort of defensive structure. I think that they are trying to, in the best way possible, keep the puck into their net. They seem to each and every night, and maybe things will change against St. Louis. We'll have to wait and see, but they seem to give up way too many odd man rushes against. We've seen in the last week or so that they must lead the league in giving up breakaways against, that's for sure. And so their goaltenders have been hung out to dry a little bit. Everybody talks about the fact that you're losing 102 points and Mitch Marner going out to Vegas. And I think there's something to be said for that. There's no doubt you can't just replace Mitch Marner with three other guys that are going to take up his salary cap space and be as good as you think you're going to be. But I think it really starts with Toronto and the fact that they've got to be better defensively. And Chris Tanev obviously being out, like he has been out, has not helped the cause either. But I think it's more than that. I think beyond that, the disconnect between the forwards and defensemen you can see on a regular basis with the Toronto Maple Leafs, and until they get rectified that part of their game, I don't necessarily think that it's all going to come around. So I think very, very nice to see your general manager kind of fall on the sword if you're a Toronto Maple Leafs player, but at the end of the day, I mean, it comes down to Craig Berube getting this team to play a little bit better defensively. If they get back to playing with more structure, get some goaltending that would be more on par with what they received last season, then Toronto, I think, can get themselves back into a playoff spot. But right now, not looking good.
Scott, from what you said there, it seems like you could be talking about the Edmonton Oilers in the same sense. Is that how you see this team as well? Is they're the mirror of the Toronto Maple Leafs in the West here?
Yeah, I think there is something to be said there. Obviously, I don't think there's as much concern about Edmonton in terms of offense as there might be in Toronto. Like we say, I mean, the Leafs lost a 102-point guy. We know what Edmonton lost too with some of the guys that left. Whether it was a Corey Perry or a Connor Brown or certainly an Evander Kane, you backfill with some other types of players. And, some guys obviously with Howard and Savoy trying to find their way. You add up what you lost with what you've got here now coming up in the team. And obviously it's just not the same team so far. Last night, very surprising. I mean, look, Edmonton's not necessarily had a great time in Buffalo the last couple of years, and last night they kind of fall to the Buffalo Sabres, who were trying to build something back up after a great come-from-behind victory on Saturday. So I think some of the concerns that Edmonton have will center around some of the players that they lost and what they're not getting in return with some of the players that are expected to step up and supply some secondary offense. And I think beyond that, still some concerns defensively. And it's not just Evan Bouchard. But as a team, they need to play more structured, better defense. And certainly the goaltending is still a question. You still got the same goaltenders. I think league-wide, people are wondering whether or not that's going to be good enough to get the Edmonton Oilers to the top of the mountain. I think we've seen from the Oilers and their goaltending the last couple of years probably enough to know that they're going to have to probably find somebody else. Not sure who that's going to be, but that's up to the general manager and company to kind of figure it out. They're going to have to go out and find at least one guy, because let's keep in mind, right, Colorado swapped out both goaltenders last season and certainly have been a much better team since they made the goaltending switches. I think some adjustments will have to be made between the pipes to have the Edmonton Oilers be a Stanley Cup champion eventually.
Scott, I was part of the woes of Buffalo way back in the day, but I blame my counterpart, who was Dominic Hasek, as the reasons why I didn't win that game. So,
yeah, no doubt, he did that to a few guys back in the day.
Scott, one last one for you. I know you covered the CFL as well. What did you take away from Sunday's Grey Cup matchup? Seeing the Saskatchewan Roughriders win their 5th Grey Cup.
Well, good for them. I mean, I thought the game would be a little bit tighter throughout. I mean, credit David Alexander and Montreal for making it close at the end. I think that Saskatchewan, led by a good young up-and-coming coach, have proven that they are a team that not only is good now but could be better in the future. I would have to imagine that Trevor Harris would come back for at least another season. If he pulled a John Elway and decided to walk off into the sunset after winning a championship, I mean, who could blame him? But I think you add it all up, and it's a very solid team. I thought that this season, and especially throughout the year, that Saskatchewan, when you look at their roster, have the best on the defensive side of the football. I think that they have the most consistent defense to start with, and then you compound that with a veteran quarterback who doesn't make many mistakes and a really good running game led by Aijay Olette. I think that obviously Saskatchewan, from start to finish, was probably the most consistent Canadian Football League team all season. We know that Davis Alexander, when Montreal got him back, they went on a bit of a run, and they were a different team with him, of course, is perhaps the brightest lighted quarterback for years to come, and the next wave of quarterbacks, of course, led by he and Nathan Work. So to answer your question, look, I thought that Saskatchewan were the most consistently productive team all season long, and I think it came to the fore, certainly going back to Sunday.
Great stuff, Scott. Thank you for taking the time to join us this afternoon. All the best, and I'm sure we'll chat down the road.
All right, look forward to it. Thanks for calling, guys.
All right, that's Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL Radio. Yeah, Toronto sounds very similar to outside of the listen. They started without Hyman, sure. Nuge now out, but I mean they've had no injuries to their goaltending, to their decor.
Yeah,
right. So I mean, Kasperi Kapanen, sure, but he's not a guy that produces a lot and brings a lot to the table for the Edmonton Oilers. So sounds very, very similar. And yeah, good on the Ducks, man. Sharks, they're showing something.
Yeah.
Even the old dogs, Malkin and Crosby there in Pittsburgh, have their team playing well. So
you know who else is showing something? Oil Country Towing. Because when I was on my way home yesterday, nice. I was looking at a truck in front of me, and I was looking at the symbol. It's got the oil thing, and I was like, God, that's familiar. And I was like, hey, they're a sponsor. I wanted to go wave at the guy, and I was like, oh, he's not going to know who I am. But
this guy?
It was pretty great.
Hey, Scott Laughlin joined us on the Old Country Towing hotline. Of course, we'll have Marshall Ferguson join us at 2:20 as well. But up next, I have a question, and I want all the Nasties to take part. You got to hit us up on the Nasty Chat, slam that thumbs up, and River Cree Inbox. Of course, the Afternoon Inbox is presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out their happy hour. It's 5:25 drinks available Sunday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. We talk more Oilers on the other side of the break. Plus, Marshall Ferguson. Plus, the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. Benny filled in for you. He failed. And a lot more this day in sports history. And all that fun stuff. Hour 2 on the other side of the break with Joaquin Gage and Hernan Salas.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
What is the injection of Zach Hyman going to do to this lineup? Well, I think it paid dividends right off the bat. A net front presence that just hasn't been there. Physicality. And he brings a professionalism to his game as well. What's that going to do for Trent Frederick? This is going to have a positive outfall for Trent Frederick. You just got to try and be more like Zach.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Skip the couch and hit the Canadian Brewhouse. Your home for every puck drop, every goal, and every cheer. With ice-cold drinks, massive screens, and the best fans in town. This hockey season, our house is your arena.
The Lock Shop.
I mean, just as far as putting on the show, the people that set up the Grey Cup Festival, can't say enough about them. And then, as I tweeted out last night, all of that was fantastic. Now it's time to crown a champion. We got a pretty wild football game that had some big-time, all-time Grey Cup moments.
Yeah.
I think a worthy champion and obviously a great, great story with your guy, Trevor Harris.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Tons of action in the NHL. Calgary hits the ice in Chicago, and from San Jose, the Mammoth clash with the Sharks. While in Sin City, the Golden Knights take on the Rangers for a total of 8 games on tonight. From Calgary, the Flames have claimed John Beecher off waivers from the Bruins. The 24-year-old has 1 goal in 6 games this season. Staying in Alberta, it's been announced that Edmonton and Red Deer will host the 2027 World Juniors. The two cities have previously co-hosted the tournament in 2022. On the road, it's the Oil Kings battling the Vs in Penticton. Edmonton first in the Eastern Conference. The Vs fourth in the West. Puck drop at 7:30. And tipping off in the association, Boston and Brooklyn matchup. Memphis and San Antonio hit the court, while Atlanta and Detroit duke it out, having 6 games around the league. In MLB news, Trent Grissom of the Yankees, Gleyber Torres from Detroit, Brandon Woodruff in Milwaukee, and Shota Imanaga of the Cubs have all accepted their 1-year qualifying offers worth just over $22 million. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your Sports Update. Hour 2 of EST Afternoon starts right now.
We're back here, hour 2 EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, brought to you by Play Alberta. We're live from Boston Pizza in Devon. It's a wonderful day to be here. 5 days of pizza for Ben, for the Ben Stelter Foundation from November 18th to the 22nd. Every pizza you buy helps us give back, as a portion of all pizza sales will support the Ben Stelter Foundation.
Did you listen to Trev when Trev came to the pre and post game show? We go. Tommy and I. Well, Tommy ordered a pizza. What is it? The
honey pepperoni.
Honey, yeah. It's on the new. What is it called? We got to see what this is called. It's called the new pepperoni stinger pizza, and it's got that hot honey on there. Trev, he didn't want a slice, and I go, Trev, you got to try this thing. And he was like, oh, my gosh. Finally, he took a piece and then he went to Kingsway Boston Pizza, and I believe ate a whole one by himself.
He's such a weirdo. Hey, we need 50 thumbs up to hit 100. Let's do it. Come on. I know there's a fatigue for thumbs up, but let's do it. Let's get there. If not for your Edmonton Oilers, for these two.
You don't know how we rib each other at the office about thumbs. So
yeah,
Reed and let's get more than Reed and Jay today. Give us more than them.
It's Joaquin, Gage, Hernan, Salas here. Nasty chat. Also, hit us up on the River Korean box 780-218-9999. Okay, great. Scott was awesome. Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM. Oilers struggling, Leafs struggling. Montreal somewhat has fallen off just a bit. Vancouver struggling. Calgary, I mean, they've been struggling since their second game because they beat the Oilers in the first one. Let's talk about number 25, Darnell Nurse.
Yikes.
And I saw this question the other day, and I thought about it, and I couldn't come up with an answer. So I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to ask our Nasties, okay? So send us your messages. If I were to ask you, Joaquin, you know, he's in his 30s. He's been in the league for a decade. He gets paid very well. He's supposed to be a top 4 stud defenseman. When I ask you right now, today, what Darnell Nurse is, what's your answer? And before you say, I just want to throw this out there because actually, give me your answer first.
Well, first of all, I'll say that's a great question.
Thank you.
But why is it a great question? Because it's very difficult to answer.
Yes.
Because you really have to. I mean, we've been watching Darnell Nurse for a long time now. 10 years?
Yeah, over 10 years.
10 years. And he there's been a lot of good, but there's I won't say a lot of bad. There's a lot of frustration with this player because we know what he's capable of. But, you know, I look at Darnell Nurse, and I'm looking at just for the past 20 games of him playing. We saw him take some. The coach took some ice time away.
Mm-hmm.
We saw a great response. from Darnell Nurse, but it seems like that deduction of ice time hasn't resulted in a complete switch flip for Darnell Nurse. And right now, as you said, stud 3-4 defenseman, he is playing like a 7-8. I'm sorry.
Because this is what the angle I'm coming at. He's not an offensive defenseman, right? He'll chip in from time to time. But a lot of the plays die on his stick. A lot of him is just point shots that kill the play right into the goalie's logo. He's not a shutdown defenseman. That's clear. He's not. He should have been.
Yeah.
But he can't. He plays against the other team's top 2 lines, but he doesn't shut them down. Rarely he does. He's not a two-way guy where he's a little bit of both. Like, what is he? I don't know.
I think he has morphed into more of he should be a shutdown defenseman. Like with a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the game, he's probably playing that whole 2 minutes when the team's up a goal.
Yeah.
Right? That's where you would think he would kind of morph into. I thought that he would become like he had the great year where he scored a lot, right? But then the next year I'm going, okay, well maybe that's not him. But I thought you would see a Adam Larson. Like that's the avenue I thought that he would go towards. Just steady, unbelievable first pass, hard to play against. He doesn't look hard to play against.
No,
right? And his season so far is wrapped up in that awful penalty he took in Carolina when he got absolutely blown up because his awareness on the ice is terrible, not knowing that he's going to get hit there. And then he goes and cross-checks the guy 80 times and thinks he's not going to get a penalty. So in a close hockey game, you can't have that. So not only are you not getting the best of him, like the best brain, you're just not getting the best brain of Darnell Nurse either. Like that's...
He's not good on the PK. I'm sorry, but he's not physical. He can have all the hits tracked and be in the stat line. But Joaquin, he's not a physical guy. And you brought up Adam Larson, and I can't believe I'm saying this because Adam Larson, he was good here for a bit. Like the first year and the last year in between, he went through a lot of personal stuff. Sure, we'll give him a break on that, but he wasn't very good. But Adam Larson, like we're sitting here, and this is crazy. We're saying Adam Larson is what we want Nurse to be.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy to me.
Nurse, you would give anything if he was like Adam Larson right now.
Like, I don't think any forward's scared to play against Darnell Nurse.
No one is.
He's not nasty. He's not physical. He's not good on the PK. He doesn't play on the power play. He's not an offensively gifted defenseman, and he's not a shutdown defenseman. So that's why I was mulling this over on the weekend, and I'm like, if someone asked me what Darnell Nurse is, I'd say I don't know. He played, like you said, he's playing like a 7-8. I think a lot of people are saying that he's is he trying too hard to be a number one?
I think those days have passed.
Okay.
I do think he's trying to fill out his role of whatever that is. But from what I've seen, and like there's no anticipation in his game, right? He is completely reactionary to what happens. And of course you have to have a sense of that. But an NHL defenseman who has played as many games as he has at this point of his career, the game should be looking like a comic book to him.
Yeah.
Right? He should be able to read a play like it's nothing. And be able to, when he makes a mistake, to be able to recover for it. And there's just the way he's playing more like a rookie than a guy that's been in the league for 10 years.
It's like he's reading the algebra book.
Oh, yeah. That's tough.
And that's the great, because we show it in highlights, lowlights. We showed 3 goals. Darnell Nurse, Jake Wallman, they're out to lunch, and they're veteran guys. Out to lunch. And this is the troubling thing with Darnell Nurse. It's not getting better. We thought he turned a corner last year in the regular season, struggled again in the playoffs. 2 years ago in the playoffs, he was one of the worst performances for a defenseman. This year, he's had his moments. You said it. When he got benched, he responded, did well. But again, it's just he's on the ice for far too many goals. I saw an analytics guy on Twitter, I can't remember who, put up his numbers on the PK. He's awful. Like, he gets scored on more often than not. I think he's like top 7 in the league right now that gets scored on. What do you do, though? 9.25.
I don't know if he has a Nordic track at home, but get off it, because he does the Nordic track every time he tries to block a shot, right?
Oh, and you hate when he's diving on his stomach.
And he's caught in no man's land.
Yeah.
Like, get off, Darnell. Throw out the Nordic track, okay? Don't worry about it anymore.
It's just crazy. So keep those coming in. We got a lot of responses. I'll read a few before we get to a break and bring in our good buddy from TSN. Sorry, I was going to say the CFL. Well, he's going to talk CFL. Marshall Ferguson. Chan Man says bottom 2. Gordon Monner says the answer is all for Hernan. Max Bezuzu with some positivity. He's second in the league in block shots. YouTube Trev says fragile. Penner's Pancake says Nurse is a 3-4 with potential to easily be a 2 when he wants to, but he definitely lacks consistency and emotion. I think that ship sailed. He's never going to be a top pairing guy.
No.
Max Bezuzu then says a 6'4 Chris Russell.
Well, I don't know. Chris Russell was kind of I didn't like his he just went around trying to block everything.
Yeah.
And it's not conducive to good play in your own zone.
Shoggy St. Albert says he's a 9.25 anchor on the cap, 100%. That's the one contract that if Sam Bowman can find a way, that's the one you have to move.
Did they not ask him if he would? There was rumors that they asked him if he would move his no trade, right?
Well, I think Bowman went to all the guys.
Yeah.
Remember we played it out?
Yeah.
We acted it out.
Yeah.
It was a very simple no. And listen, Smitty the Welder says, why don't they're not going – listen, I'm not saying I agree, but they're not going to healthy scratch Darnell Nurse. No, it's just not going to happen. He can play terrible for the rest of the year, and it won't happen. He's part of the core. The money comes into it. He's a leader on the team. He wears an 8. You're not healthy scratching Darnell Nurse. Should he sit? Sure. But he's not going to. And I think that's the biggest thing here. And you just got to hope and pray he gets better, because him and Wallman started well. Now they're fading.
But they both have the ability to play so much better. You know, I'm not saying that it's not in their game still.
They do. And that's, I guess that's the positive outlook is, can it get worse? It can, but there's also an upside, because we've seen Nurse play well. We've seen Wallman play well. VR says Nurse is a winger. But let's not go there. There's a good one from Bones on the River Korean box. Says, let's see here. Where'd it go? Nurse is a 3 trying way too hard to be a 1, and a result is playing like a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, part of playing in the NHL is figuring out what you have to do to be successful, right? Like, he's had ample time to figure that out. And at times it looks like, to me, because when I look back, and this is weird, but when I look back to remember that game when he played like 60 minutes in the playoffs?
Yeah.
But he was playing every shift, like he knew he had to keep going out in the ice. So, but he was so safe and did everything right and got off the ice, right? And now it seems like that's how he plays. He knows he's going to play a lot. So it almost seems like he's holding back a little bit. Like when he goes into the corner with a guy, it's just, it's under control. Go and smack somebody.
It's almost like he doesn't know what to do. Like, should I do this? Should I
I don't know why he doesn't. Like last year at the beginning of the year, I remember he got in a fight right away, right?
Yeah.
And it seemed like, this is going to be a different year for Darnell Nurse. And it was. I would say it was. But, man, there's a lot to be left desired here.
All right, we got to get to Marshall Ferguson. He's waiting for us on the other side of the break. We'll talk some CFL, some F1 as well. And nephew and niece are trying to take a picture here while we're trying to work. How dare they?
Unbelievable.
But keep the messages coming. What is Darnell Nurse at this point in his career? Please let us know. Have some fun with it if you'd like to. But River Korean Box 780-218-9999 or hit us up on the Nasty Chat. Slam that thumbs up. TSN's Marshall Ferguson on the other side of the break.
The NHL is 8 games on tap. The Red Wings and Kraken face off. Tampa Bay plays host to New Jersey while St. Louis visits Toronto. All 3 of those games start at 5 o'clock. In other news, the World Juniors are returning to Edmonton and Red Deer in 2027. Edmonton will host 17 games at Rogers Place, Red Deer, with 14 in the 2 cities last hosted the event in 2022. WHL action, the Oil Kings hit the ice in Penticton against the Vs for 7:35 puck drop. Edmonton first in the Eastern Conference, Penticton fourth in the West. And to the association, Utah visits LA to play the Lakers. Golden State takes on Orlando, while Portland welcomes in Phoenix, having 6 games on tap. In MLB news, Trent Grisham of the Yankees, Gleyber Torres from Detroit, Brandon Woodruff in Milwaukee, and Shota Imanaga of the Cubs have all accepted their 1-year qualifying offers worth just over $22 million. Marshall Ferguson to talk all things CFL next on EST Afternoons. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
What a ride it was. The Blue Jays have made our whole country proud. Sentinel Storage is honored to stand with Canada's team every step of the way. Thank you, Blue Jays. Sentinel Storage, official storage provider of the Toronto Blue Jays.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including international U2 tribute band, Desire, November 14th. Performing decades of U2's greatest hits, it's Desire, November 14th at the River Cree. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
We're back here on EST Afternoon live from Boston Pizza in Devon. We say hello to the WSTers, the Winnipeggers, the Hustlerites. Thank you for joining us today. Don't go anywhere. Got a great guest coming up. TSN's Marshall Ferguson. He's brought to you by Old Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. Fast, safe, and reliable for over 15 years. Whether it's a game day or a snowstorm, we work as hard as your favorite team to get you going. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. Let's just hope it's not the Oilers, your favorite. As we bring in Marshall Ferguson from TSN, of course, does great work on the broadcast there. Marshall, my friend, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Speaking of towing companies, I feel like I've. Oh.
Thank you.
Where am I here?
Hope he's muted.
Hello.
Oh, he's muted.
You got me?
Oh, is he? Oh, hold on. Yeah, we figured.
Hold on, Marshall.
I'm so
there we go.
Marshall, you there?
I got you. You got me?
Oh, that was on us. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Hey, man, listen, when I used to do TSN radio in Hamilton, I know how hard it is to work remote. I get it.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm here, Marshall.
I'd be yelling at our producer right now. My bad. Marshall, wanted to bring you on to talk a bunch of different things, but the game a couple days ago, the Grey Cup, saw the Riders defeat the Montreal Alouettes. First of all, just your takeaways from the game. We'll always go back to that fumble on the 2-yard line by Shea Patterson and the Hail Mary at the end. They're still in it, and we're always going to remember the injury to Davis Alexander. But what did you take away from Sunday's Riders Grey Cup victory?
Yeah, I think, the lead storylines coming in, obviously, was the quarterback stuff, right? And I think that holds true because it cements Trevor Harris, regardless of being a high completion percentage guy and, throwing a ton of touchdowns in his career. I was kind of joking going into this past week of every time that Trevor Harris gets identified as a 2-time Grey Cup champion, I'm always just like, when did he?
Yeah.
Like his whole career has been, okay, I'm Ottawa. The really good years in Ottawa. He didn't win one in Ottawa though, right? And it's like, no. You're like, Montreal was really, no. Edmonton, no. You're right. You start going through it, and I'm like, it was the backup stuff in Toronto and all the rest. So for him to actually get one of his own, I think that's massive for his career legacy. And it wins, and specifically championship wins, not really a quarterback statistic, but legacy-wise, you cannot win a Grey Cup and you cannot be a great quarterback without having a championship. So I think that's huge for him. And on the other side, I'm like, hey, if you're going to lose a game, that's a hell of a way to do it for the first time in your career. If you're Davis Alexander, you might as well throw 3 interceptions, be injured, and then, have just like a depressing way of going into the offseason. The first thing that jumped out to me with Davis Alexander in that game, honestly, guys, was when he missed the throw on his first interception. Like, he just didn't get enough into it. And I think he was throwing that skinny corner, whatever it was, like that deep crossing route. And I saw the angle it came out of his hand, and I immediately was just like, oh no. And then it got robbed, it got picked. And my first thought was, everybody's talking about the mobility and moving around the pocket and how well can he run and all this stuff. I'm like, as a former quarterback in what feels like a previous life at this point now, because I have a 5-year-old son, I know that if I have something wrong in my quad, my calf, or my hamstring, or my hip, or my abdomen, or if there's anything in that twisting area and you can't get as much into the football as you want to rip it down the field, when I saw that he underthrew that ball, I know how strong an arm Davis Alexander has. He was not at full strength when it came to throwing the football, let alone moving around and grabbing his hamstring towards the end of the game. So, that was my main kind of takeaways, was the quarterback stuff and just how different those conversations have been over the last couple of days.
Marshall, look, he had a phenomenal season and probably came back a little bit too early and re-aggravated that hamstring. That was probably, looking back, probably should have let him get completely healthy at that point. But you being a former quarterback and just like having a season like Alexander had, but then just coming up short, how does this affect him going into next year? Does this, obviously it hurts, and we know the bravado of this guy. Is this going to ignite a fire under him that we haven't seen in a quarterback in a long time in the CFL?
I'm interested in the short term because I don't know what the answer is. Long term, I'm looking at it almost like when Zach Collaros had X amount of concussions early on in his career and then had the ACL against Edmonton when he played for the Tiger Cats. When he had the knee, that was 2015, 16, somewhere in there. And that was a decade ago. And I remember all of us in Hamilton doing radio going, he's cooked. This dude's never going to play at a high level again. And then we saw him play well in Sask. We saw him play incredible in Winnipeg for a long time now. So I think I'm looking at it as kind of like a Zach has taught me the lesson that do not count somebody out in the long term because you think, well, that was a nice start, kid, but this really isn't how this thing plays out, and you're not going to roll like this forever. The other part of it is Bo Levi Mitchell had two of the most embarrassing, again, quarterbacks shouldn't be responsible for the losses of their team, especially when their team decides to go party all Grey Cup week. But when the Calgary Stampeders were losing in Grey Cups, that Bo Levi Mitchell was the best player in the league, in my opinion, it's like, that's kind of damning. That's super embarrassing. But he has bounced back. He wins the 2018 Grey Cup. He's been in contention at various points since then. So for me, I think long-term, Davis Alexander is going to be a beast in this league. And it's because he's going to go through a maturation process, which will be fueled by this. Like you go back to whether it's like Anthony Calvillo or all of these guys that have been great in the CFL at quarterback, if they have an early career Grey Cup loss that is memorable, then they are fueled forever by it. And it feels like, okay, I got to get one because I lost one and now I got to make sure I don't lose another one. If he gets one, he's going to be like, screw that. I need to win more than I lost. And if he gets two, he's going to be like, well, now I just got to start racking them up because you start looking at the record books and stuff. So anyways, that's looking a long way down the road. I think short term, it's going to be Jason Moss and it's going to be that coaching staff's responsibility to perhaps reel him in a little bit. You know, they did the whole act of everything he does is great. We love him. We don't want him to change. I don't think you can play with that type of fire for more than 2, maybe 3 years of starting because the act gets old and it'll start to wear off. And all of a sudden you're not playing at a high enough level and you're becoming a free agent and your team is kind of going, we don't really need to sign you. It's fine. You can go somewhere else. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen because I think he's going to be really successful, but I do think there's going to be this kind of growth that's going to happen over the next couple of years, which I'm excited to see where it takes him because he's a hell of a talent.
Marshall, it's interesting talking about kind of like what Davis Alexander brings, because in that Hamilton game, he was chirping the crowd in the first quarter. He's doing a lot of his antics. But then in the Grey Cup, we didn't see it.
Yeah, and I think a large part, I was funny. I was putting myself in his shoes as well, Hernan, which was, it's almost like when you see videos of like, whether it be like, a lion or an apex predator in the wild, and it's like, Mufasa who's just screaming at all the hyenas and scaring the hell out of them. And then if Mufasa gets injured and all of a sudden it's like his roar isn't quite so loud and he doesn't really seem that intimidating. And, it's maybe like the sum of the parts are stronger than the one guy that has been barking at everybody for a long time. So, and again, I don't have a problem with Davis Alexander being super vocal and being outgoing and personal. It's like, I would rather somebody act like Davis Alexander than somebody act like Trevor Harris, in all honesty, because Trevor Harris to me is not an interesting quarterback and hasn't been for a very long time because he does everything right. I like people that don't do everything right. I like when you are not like by the book and buttoned up and all the rest. Credit to Trevor for doing that. But I think Davis is good for the CFL because sometimes he says the wrong thing. Sometimes he makes a comment that makes you go, oh, what's that about, right? So sometimes it's good to have that inexperience and maybe that at times lack of maturity. But yeah, the second the hamstring happened, so I actually called the Yates Cup, the OUA, like the university championship game. And every year when I call the Yates Cup, I'm always driving home and I put the second half of the Eastern Final on because essentially we finished the Yates that kicks off at 1, the Eastern Final kicks off at 3, and I'm in the car by, middle of the second quarter kind of thing. So I'm in the car driving home and I'm listening to Dusty call the game in the East Final with Hamilton and Montreal. And they're going through it and it's low scoring and all the rest. And I actually saw the hamstring pull kind of happen as I was sitting there. And I thought to myself, well, there goes the Grey Cup, right? Yeah. Like all of us, there was a small part where it's like, if this is anywhere close to what it was in the regular season, there's no way he can be the same person. And then it kind of becomes mentally exhausting because, all the Grey Cup week discussion is going to be, will he or won't he? Is he okay? Is this good? Like all the way leading up even through the pregame and all the rest. And I was like, guys, there's no way he's right. He can get all the treatment in the world. The hamstring is one of those injuries that does not go away in a short period of time, even if you wish it. Even if they're working on you 24/7 and you get crazy things shot into the back of your leg, it's still going to suck. So I think it was a bit of an inevitability that I think we played up way too much on the TV side trying to create interest in it because it's like if we were being totally honest with people, somebody would have just come out and said, hey, there's no way he's right. So here's the question, how does that evolve? And I think we saw how it evolved.
Marshall, obviously with a 5-year-old, you're sitting there watching The Lion King. It must be on a repeat on Disney Plus. But let's look at what do you think? Does Trevor Harris get on the horse and ride into the sunset here with a Grey Cup as a starting QB, or is he pull an Elway here and go for 2?
It's tempting, isn't it? Like the idea of Saskatchewan like getting blown out, let's say at BC next year in the West Final or something.
Yeah.
Like when you actually start playing out the possible situations, it's like, okay, let's say that Fajardo comes back in Edmonton and they build up a great defense and Edmonton goes on a run. And then it's like the West semi and Edmonton goes into Saskatchewan and beats Trevor Harris and he just walks off the field. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Brady lose at home to the Rams in his last game ever? Like, I feel like, and again, Trevor Harris, not necessarily Tom Brady, but like I was a Brady guy my whole damn life, and I could not believe that he just never stopped playing because he was always hungry and he always wanted more, and he always and I remember watching the end of that game where Stafford, I think, and the Rams and Cooper Kupp just they just blew him off the field, and I was like, oh my God, this is how it ends. This is how the whole thing ends. I'm like, that's not how the legend's supposed to walk off the field at home getting blown. So, I think if I'm Trevor, I would have a serious thought leaning on the history of other people from around professional football, not just the CFL, of what are the pros and cons of this. And obviously he's come close and had the discussions with his family previously. If I'm him, I'm coming back because I'm hungry, but I'm coming back with the caveat that I know this might really suck if it ends in a really sour way, because if you go out now, you spend the rest of your life celebrating that moment of greatness and nothing will ever taint it. So that's a hard one.
TSN's Marshall Ferguson joining us here. Just a few more. Here in Edmonton, I think we'll find out soon if Fajardo's returning. He was an absolute warrior for the Elks this year. He was great. But the big question is, what do they do with Trey Ford? He's due a big bonus in February, Marshall. Are you on board that Fajardo should be the number one in Edmonton? And maybe the best thing for Trey is just to play another year behind Cody Fajardo.
Yeah, it's tough, right? I mean, it's funny because I had the thought as the Grey Cup was coming to a close that I think I posted a poll question on Twitter last year around the time that the MBT for Fajardo trade happened. And I was like, which starting young quarterback would you rather be, knowing that you're looking over your shoulder at a total assassin because it's a veteran quarterback who's going to be there? Would you rather be Trey Ford having to deal with Cody Fajardo or Davis Alexander who has to deal with MBT? And I honestly thought, and I was totally wrong about this, that it was Trey Ford that would be able to handle that better, because I thought Fajardo at that point, the idea that Montreal was willing to move on from him was a bit of a, no, I'm not really that scared of him. I thought MBT was going to come in and see Davis Alexander and be like, I don't give a damn who this kid is. I'm going to win the starting job. Wow, was I wrong? Because Davis Alexander doesn't care what anybody thinks. So he thundered his way through it, and he was just totally himself the entire year. I think Trey was affected by the threat of it. I also think the organizational structure was totally different as well, right? Because like Moss and Macochin, it was like, no, Davis is our guy. If he's injured, we got to go to MBT. In Edmonton, it was like, hey, Trey, prove it. And if you don't, there's always that lingering threat that was kind of there. I don't get the sense Montreal did that. So, yeah, I think for Trey, I would love to see him go through another year of development, but it also just feels like another year of wasted time and wasted athleticism and wasted understanding. But it's a 9-team league. Like, where is he supposed to go? Because anywhere that he goes at this point, unless something crazy happens in Winnipeg, or if Trevor, sets sail, and then it's a question of like, is it Jake Mayer? You bring in Trey Ford. Is there an open competition? I don't know. I'm just theorizing like what that could potentially look like. And as we know, the offseason for quarterback stuff's crazy. Every year something happens that we don't see coming. So it could potentially happen. But it's just tough because Trey, like, I've watched him since he was at Waterloo in OUA games and university and U Sports, and he's so talented, and he's obviously just freakishly athletic, has this total unnatural ability to just get out of the pocket and run 4-4 through arm tackles and make people miss in the open field. But the terrible part about Cody Fajardo coming into Edmonton is that Fajardo very rarely does all of the crazy game-breaking things, but he comes from the Trevor Harris school of always take the check down, always take the crosser, always take the flat route, always have your feet the same, keep your eyes in the same place, be on rhythm, be on time, get rid of the ball in 2.5 seconds or less. Trey doesn't have very many of those locked in. And I'm not saying he can't play quarterback. I'm saying Trey plays quarterback in a very entertaining and very different way than Trevor and Cody play the position. And the dichotomy of having Cody Fajardo being there every day doing things in a metronomic way, and then Trey being sensational but kind of all over the place, it's not an easy situation for him. I don't want him to have to leave Edmonton, but it might be the best situation. And in all honesty, I don't know what's going on with PJ Walker and all that kind of stuff, but Calgary, right down the road, to me, Trey being athletic and being able to be potentially a package player again who works his way in. If Vernon Adams Jr. gets dinged, you go in, the offense doesn't really have to change that much. I think the Stampeders would be an intriguing fit if he left. But again, I struggle with the idea of Trey just standing on the sidelines again because I know how good he is.
Marshall, you're a big F1 guy. Does Lando close it out this weekend?
You know what? I was up at 4 a.m. this morning because MotoGP was testing in Valencia.
Oh, okay.
So the two-wheel stuff was on my mind this morning. But yeah, I think the way that McLaren has handled this situation has been pretty intriguing because I think they've kind of moved the goalposts. Not that I'm making any comments about the CFL rule changes that are coming, but I do think that they used to have that very we'll worry about it when we get there, and then they got there and they were like, oh, now we have to figure out how to deal with it, right? So Austin was a mess. That the whole thing at the U.S. Grand Prix was. I don't think they had any ability to. You can talk all you want in front of the media and try to play it down, but it's that was bad. They should be so thankful. And to answer your question, I do think Lando closed it out. They should be so thankful that Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris seem to have no interest in being Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, or you know what I mean? They should be so thankful that they haven't actually really had a controversy on their hands, because on track, totally controversy worthy. Then those two guys stand in front of the media and they're like, "Yeah, racing's crazy, huh?" And it's like, no, what?
Yeah.
No, that the people who produce Drive to Survive are like, come on, dude, give me something. We got to be able to piece this together. But Formula One, I think is it has been interesting because I covered the Canadian Superbike Championship, and seeing the way that two-wheel drama works on the global top step of MotoGP World Superbike versus open wheel racing versus Formula One, IndyCar, all this kind of stuff. Formula One has got this thing buttoned down, and it's so formulaic in the way that they promote and market everything with Liberty Media as their ownership, that I think a lot of other series in motorsport specifically are looking to try and understand it. And the McLaren controversies that could have been are a great example of that, because sometimes there are very minuscule things that happen in other motorsports and they turn into firestorms. Big things happen in Formula One and everybody just keeps moving and focuses on the racing. So there's a lesson in there somewhere. I don't know what it is, but it's somebody smart's at the top.
Hey, Marshall, I had nothing to watch last night, and I found on Prime MotoGP documentary, or kind of like a Drive to Survive, starting with the 2021 season. I got through the first episode. A lot of drivers to learn, a lot of different things, but it's pretty cool.
It's a crazy ecosystem. There's so many great personalities. The people are so interesting and over the top, and it's such a global sport. I think it's more relatable to people, even though the bikes are total advanced machines that nobody would ever come close to owning, because anybody who has ever been on a motorcycle watches anything that happens in MotoGP and goes, how? I was watching at Valencia, there was the final round of the season was this past weekend, and Pedro Acosta, who's this incredible 21-year-old Spanish kid, he was going through a left-hand corner that kind of climbs the hill. I think it's turn 14 or something at Valencia. And they played a super slow-mo. His elbow and his knee and almost his shoulder were on the ground, sparking. And then they showed the Michelin tire graphic. He was going 190 kilometers an hour. So, you put that into perspective of, I'm dragging my elbow on and I've done track days, guys, where I have gotten my knee to touch the ground, and the second it does, I'm like, oh, no. And I'm going 40 kilometers an hour through a slow right-hand corner. So anyways, I see that stuff, and I'm like, and actually to kind of bring this full circle, Liberty Media just purchased Dorna, essentially, which was the owner of MotoGP, sold MotoGP, the top step of the international motorcycle racing, to Liberty Media, who owns Formula One. So now the marketing side that I just talked about that has been in Formula One is very much going to come to MotoGP. I think it's a huge growth market for people that, like yourself, Hernan, you might not know it. A lot of people, a lot of different kind of nuances and accents and all the rest to get used to. It's, I know I've been bitten by the bug. I'm fascinated by it every single week because it's just, when you're hanging off of a piece of metal that's going 340 kilometers an hour into a blind right-hander down the hill at Phillip Island, and it looks like you're going to drop into the ocean, that's different to me than I've ever seen before. So it's pretty cool.
Marshall, great stuff. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'm sure we'll chat again, my friend.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right, that was Marshall Ferguson from TSN. Great conversation. If you missed it, you can find it wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Google. You can find EST Afternoons on there. Give it a follow, and our content will be pushed to the top. We got to get out. We got to do the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. Coming up next in this day and all that fun stuff here on EST Afternoons. We're back after the break.
Tons of action in the NHL tonight. Calgary hits the ice in Chicago. The Mammoth clash with the Sharks, while in Sin City, the Golden Knights take on the Rangers for a total of 8 games on tap. Meanwhile, the Flames have claimed John Beecher off waivers from the Bruins. The 24-year-old has 1 goal in 6 games this season. Staying in Alberta, it's been announced that Edmonton and Red Deer will host the 2027 World Juniors. The two cities had previously co-hosted the tournament in 2022. On the road, the Oil Kings battle the Vs in Penticton. Edmonton first in the East, the Vs fourth in the West. Puck drop just after 7:30. And tipping off in the Association, Boston and Brooklyn matchup. Memphis and San Antonio hit the court, while Atlanta and Detroit duke it out, having 6 games around the NBA. MLB news, Trent Grisham of the Yankees, Gleyber Torres from Detroit, Brandon Woodruff from Milwaukee, and Shota Imanaga of the Cubs have all accepted their 1-year qualifying offers worth just over $22 million. The final segment of EST Afternoons brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
Showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. 2 bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
The River Cree Resort and Casino features the best in live entertainment, including international U2 tribute band, Desire, November 14th. Performing decades of U2's greatest hits, it's Desire, November 14th at the River Cree. Tickets for this show and more at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Hockey is heating up, and so is the excitement on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code EST50. That's code EST50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, please use your game sense. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Final segment here on EST Afternoons. Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne coming up with the Reed Wilkins Show from 3 to 6. A lot of Def Leppard being played here. Reed is very happy. Right?
Reed is just, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Full air guitar.
Afternoon Inbox presented by the River Cree Resort and Casino. Check out their Tap 25 restaurant where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week. And it's time now. Screw it. Let's do it. In a very rare occurrence, I'm the only one that hit yesterday.
What?
Yeah, very weird. Very weird. That's usually the other way around. But who wants to go first? Coop, you
Coop
there?
can go first.
Yeah, I'm here. Yep.
Oh.
I gotta be here, boys. This is my job. I'm always here. I'm always watching. You know, I'm gonna go back to old reliable after getting a miss. I'm gonna go with Dylan Larkin point tonight against Seattle.
Larkin point. Okay, Gager.
Well, you know, why you want to get nuts?
Let's get why not?
Let's get nuts. I think just after everything that's happened, I'm looking at Maple Leaf Blues. Austin Matthews goal.
No, he's out.
Is he out?
Yes, he's hurt.
Forget that then. That's not going to happen. Well, let's go. Let's keep it simple. Let's get back on the winning track. Celebrini point.
Okay, I like that. I'm going to go off the rails, as I usually do. Eichel goal.
I was going to say Eichel goal, too.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. We're covered then. I feel good about this.
Dylan Larkin point. Macklin Celebrini point. Eichel goal.
I like
Are we good?
We're good.
All right. I just sent it to our guy, our insider.
Sure.
And we'll be rolling. We only got about 3 minutes. Let's see here. On this day, 1983, A Christmas Story was released in theaters. One of the best.
That?
With Ralphie.
I never watched
You'll
it.
shoot your eye out, kid.
Isn't that Mickey from Rocky?
That's a classic Christmas movie. I can't believe you don't know it, Joaquin. Well, you know it, but...
Yeah, I never watched it.
Okay, on this day, 1985, Elmo was first introduced on Sesame Street.
I remember trying to find a Tickle Me Elmo.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Those are hilarious, man. I love that thing.
Also on this day, 1985, the comic strip Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, I
Debuted in
love
newspapers.
Calvin and Hobbes, man.
Yeah.
That was back in the day. Remember when you got the paper and went straight to the comics, ate your cereal in the morning with
That was the best.
That was the best.
Or
man.
read every Tuesday they'd put the NHL stats for every team.
I didn't know.
Well, you were playing.
Yeah.
You were playing. That was like my morning. There.
Really?
Doug Wade has 40 points. Like, I didn't know.
Oh, I remember looking at the stats page. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was good stuff. Ralphie wants his Red Ryder BB gun. Yes, that's a classic, man. I love that Christmas story. It's part of my childhood, Joaquin.
Okay.
The question today was, what is Darnell Nurse? And I don't think we figured it out. To be honest, I don't think we did.
Well, we know what he needs to be. He needs to be a solid 3-4 defenseman. And he's, what did I say, 7'8"?
Yeah.
Like, is that too harsh?
I mean, he hasn't been good.
I mean,
how about we call him a 5'6"?
A 6. I'll say a 6. So at least he's not in the press box.
Okay. He won't be in the press box.
I know.
So tomorrow, Joaquin, we'll have our boy Tim Hernan. I think he's in Vegas because he said I have to do. He said I have to do phone, and I take that as he's busy.
He's busy. Yeah.
And then we'll have Sammy Silver from Washington to tee up Caps
get ready for
and
the
Oilers.
Caps.
Yeah. Does Ovechkin score against the Oilers?
Good. Well, if they leave him like they did yesterday, and when he play, like I'm pretty sure Ovi's going to put that one away. So
who would you start in net? It's back-to-backs.
I go with Skinner again.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so they play Tampa.
Yeah.
Next, right?
Thursday.
Oh, you know what? I think. Jeez, I wonder how quickly I can get to Washington. That's a tough one, man, because you're looking for anything resembling anything. Skinner, although it wasn't his fault, still needed to, like, there's certain plays where you got to make saves there, like stoppable pucks.
Yeah.
And I think I roll with Skinner and then come back with
Pickard.
Well, I you know what? Back in my day, you could play 2 games in a row.
You're going Skinner back to back.
I might go Skinner back to back.
I like it. Skinner back to back. Let's go. I'm sure Ace is loving that idea right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
He's on his way here right now.
The Skinner haters do not like Gager's idea. But I love it. Skinner back to back. Let's go. Okay, coming up, it's the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. They got a full lineup. They got a ton of fun for you as well. And they'll break down, of course, another disappointing game by the Edmonton Oilers. They have you right up until 6. We're all back at it tomorrow, live from the studio, starting at 6 a.m. with the one and only Dustin Nielsen Show with LTE. Big shout out to Scott Laughlin from SiriusXM NHL, to Marshall Ferguson, and to Coop, who produced back at the studios. We love you, Coop. We miss you. We'll see you tomorrow. And to all of you, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the thumbs up. We'll chat tomorrow. Doubters.
We miss you.